Okay, I'm here poolside actually now to talk to the president and CEO of Freedom Divers International. That would be Kurt Clifton. Hi Kurt, thanks for talking with us today.
No problem.
Could you help us, first of all, explain what Freedom Divers International is?
Well, Freedom Divers International is a group of volunteers that have gotten together that want to introduce the underwater world to people with disabilities. And not just the person with the disabilities, we want to do it for their entire family, because if they don't have someone to do it with, they're not going to do it too often. So if you can get the family involved, like we've been doing here today, everyone gets to have a good time, and especially when they get underwater, and it shows that there are no barriers when we get underwater.
Yeah, cool. The program today is called Try Scuba. So what's that all about?
Try Scuba is where we introduce the person. We just give them a real brief course on how to breathe with the regulators and how to go underwater, how to equalize their ears, and just to give them a taste to see if this is something they want to do. Because some people, once they get in the water, they decide, hey, this is totally something I don't think it would be good for me. But as you can see, most of the people, when they get out, it's like, this is right, this is fun.
Yeah.
And so once they're done with that, then we can get them back to wherever they're locally located, and we'll set them up with an instructor in their area.
Oh, wow.
Certify them.
That's going the extra mile. That's pretty cool. Well, I noticed you have some shirts here, and on there it says no barriers. And I'm just curious, what kinds of barriers are you witnessing with either the veterans or just people with disabilities, and how are you kind of overcoming that?
Well, the veterans especially, are coming back, and some of them have had amputations, upper body, lower body amputations, or they've had traumatic injuries to the brain, or spinal cord injuries, and they're having to use wheelchairs now to get around, or some sort of prosthetic device to be able to get around.
Sure.
Well, when we get in the water, you don't need those devices anymore, because they can pretty much do everything that they could before their injury and stuff.
Yeah.
And same thing with any type of other disability. You get them into the water, and because it's a weightless environment, there's nothing that's going to restrict them like it is on land. So all of a sudden, they're free to do anything that anyone else could do underwater. It's pretty cool when you see somebody that is restricted, just like we had today. A gentleman got in the water, and I had all I could do just to keep up with him. Once he got in the water, he was pulling away from me like I was standing still. So.
You do have some equipment though that helps. I heard you talking earlier about webbed gloves, and I know you have a self-propelling sort of device. Could you explain how these gadgets help? Well,
the webbed gloves are for somebody that is missing the lower extremities, or just has a weakness in the legs that they can't really kick with their legs to use fins. So these are now the fins for them. So all the fingers are joined and stuff, and they can swim around pretty good. But sometimes if they've got also a spinal cord injury or something associated with it, they can't really use their arms enough, because it'll actually start aggravating that injury. So then we get into what's called a diver propulsion vehicle, or the Pegasus thruster, which actually is a unit that attaches to our scuba tank, and it's a magnetic switch. They activate it, boom, and they can go around.
Wow.
The designer of that made one specifically for a quadriplegic, so that they can actually, by turning their head, they can direct which direction it will actually take them.
Cool.
So instead of us taking them somewhere, they're able to take us where they want.
They have that choice, right?
Yes.
Good. Now, Freedom Divers International, I mean, even though right now we're in Illinois, you're not restricted to Illinois. You're operating around the country. Is that right?
We operate throughout the United States, the Caribbean. We're actually going down to Belize this summer.
Wow.
We're going to be certifying 2 dive agencies down there, dive shops that want to start working with people with disabilities and stuff. So we go pretty much anywhere that the need is. We've been working with the Army out of Fort Campbell and Fort Bragg since 2003. Walter Reed of Bethesda also. We take groups about twice a year down to the Florida Keys. People down there have been giving fantastic. They put us up in hotels for free. They give us boats with crews to take our people out on dives at no charge. And the restaurants fight over who's going to have us over for dinner and stuff. The bar bill can get a little excessive sometimes for some of these military guys, but we try to keep it pretty good. But it's a really good way for them to get back from the military and start doing things with their family.
Right.
And that's what it's about. They got to get out of that warrior mentality and start getting back in with the family and doing things with their family. And this is a good way to do it.
Well, cool. All over the country. So a good way for people to find you naturally is your website, which is freedomdiversinternational.org. Thank you.
Yep.
And I noticed earlier, it's like a team approach. You had quite a few people in the water with your.
We've got a fantastic group here. A lot of these guys are people that work with my dive shop or I've worked with them in law enforcement and stuff. Most of the group that was here is all law enforcement or state's attorneys for Illinois.
Yeah, right.
We have a few of those. We also have one of the officers from NIU. She's a paramedic police officer from NIU. It's all volunteer. None of us are paid. None of the board members are paid. This is all something we do on our own. All the equipment has been bought with our own money right now. We're getting some fundraising going now because we're getting more and more people wanting to do this, and it's just getting harder and harder for us to get this taken care of.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you catch your breath. Literally, I mean, I know you've had a busy morning and you got a busy afternoon coming up. So, Kurt Clifton, President, CEO of Freedom Divers International. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Good.